I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
That Sports for the best authentic sportswear. You check Wilton Sports when you want the best authentic sportswear. Wilton Sports. Food change advertise fee. And for roll out the numbers. Remember, no easy laugh, no off. That Sports for the best authentic sportswear. You check Wilton Sports when you want the best authentic sportswear. Wilton Sports. Food change advertise fee. And for roll out the numbers. Remember, no easy laugh, no off.
Some sports were for take notes. Them full of dreams and hopes. Then why them come and sell rope? When there is only one, yeah, there is only one goat. And that's a Wilson, yeah, that's a Wilson, yeah, that's a Wilson Sports. Yeah, ball boots, ball tops, ball shots, shin guard, ball socks. Them kind of drip you quick for make your ex call back. Little quickness in my boots and ball out, me want that. My Nike ticky pretty and my Adidas all black. Dribble down you feel it, grip and feel me can't drop. Slide tackle all, me own a team and know this now pop. Why? Because me buy the supper.
Good morning and welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Manningsman, and we're here with a next big one, big one today. We're going to dive into some serious matters and help to see if we can bring some resolution and some clarity to this very important and serious matter that we have to discuss today. We are going to try and make contact with a couple of persons to help to clarify the matter at hand. Very important, very delicate matter, but it must be spoken about because we are all Jamaicans. We need to stand with each other, especially when times are the most difficult. Again, welcome to the platform. If this is your first time on I Am Sure Sports, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and share with other persons so they too can be a part of this channel. Want to big up big goalkeeping coach Daniel Smith, man from out of Western Jamaica. Sure improvement is always a pleasure having you a part of this discussion. Don't get to see you on as often as we used to, but I know you're probably lurking in the background, right? Lurking in the background, and yeah. So big up yourself, right? Big up yourself also. Baggio, who is here, man over there in Canada. Yeah, and I suspect he kind of knows what is going on, right? Right now. He knows what is going on, and he's probably aware of this because he's out there in Canada. Yeah, he's over there in Canada. You understand me? And so he may be aware of some of what is going on. Big up to Fabi Frano and big up to Travis Peso. Yeah, man, one of the loyal ones in Western Jamaica. KW Media, always good having you on as usual. Listen, there is Mr. Richards, that is the father of Dujan Richards. He'll be doing an interview tonight on one of the television programs. I think it's a very interesting one that we may need to tune into and listen to what is going on right there. Okay. Um, definitely going to do that. All right. Yep. So before we dive into the matter at hand, let me just say this, right? If you're not a member of I Am Sure Sports, Badger, you're not a member yet, and you need to, Daniel Simit, very easy. Become a member of the platform, all right? Very easy. There are different membership structures and systems, and you can become a member of I Am Sure Sports because there are some exclusive offers that are coming up for those who are part of our membership at I Am Sure Sports. Be a member of the channel. All right. What shall we discuss? First and foremost, I have to say congratulations, firstly, to Cavaliers for getting, right, for getting to the finals of the Caribbean Cup Championship. They went up against a team that has won it several times and have been runners up in this competition, a very experienced team at this level in Robin Hood. And so they lost 3-0 an aggregate to Robin Hood, having lost 2-0 last night in Jamaica to the team. A big part of the second half, Cavaliers were playing with 10 players as Chanel Thomas got a second yellow card and was ejected from the game. I think they looked better with the 10 players because they had no other choice of trying to get a goal, and that opened them up to conceding other goals, all right? But on the night, Robin Hood were the better teams. The average age of the Cavaliers team is somewhere between 21 and 22 years old. So I think the oldest player was Gadil Irwin, who is 25 years old. So they have a pretty young team there. Ricochet Murray wasn't there. Nicholas Hamilton. So they, outside of the King and the Atkinson and the Webster and the Anderson, a lot of their other players were missing throughout this competition, so they must be commended. Then they have Ronaldo Barrett and Omarion Henry and Kimani Jackson playing in the schoolboy football, still in the final, so they must be congratulated. All right, so they must be congratulated. But on the night, the Surinamese club, sorry about that, twisting of the tongue, had the better game and they deserved the win. Cavaliers are still in the CONCACAF Championship. It's just that they are not on the leg where they would meet Inter Miami right now. It is still possible that they could, because I believe come January, when they get back some of the players, For example, like Richard King is back in Jamaica, so he could re-sign with them if a next door doesn't open up in Europe. Atkinson, who has been injured and back in Jamaica, you have him. Yeah, so they could add to their squad and make it stronger for that leg of the competition. So I don't think it is all done yet for Cavaliers. But kudos to them and Mr. Rudolph's speed, though they lost. Again, you can tell that the love and the passion for football is not there. $1,000 to enter the game, and they were just a sprinkling of spectators in the national stadium, in the grandstand, watching the game. And people are going to come and make all kind of excuses. Oh, they're not good and stuff, and it's too expensive, and it should have been free, and they said it was going to be free, and all of that. Listen, it's culture. And nobody is going to tell me that if the teams do well, they will get support. That is not the way in Jamaica. People don't have a passion to watch football. They have a passion to complain and quarrel and argue and fight and banter. That's where our passion is. Our passion in Jamaica is to talk and don't support our talk many times with a lot of action. And so I had to put that out there so we can know what is going on with the football. All right. Some good games in the EPL. Leon Bailey again with a tremendous strike, picking it up. I mean, just above the half line and with one of his speedy runs. I think all three defenders thought he was going to fire it off the left. He chopped it back on the right, and then he fired off his right foot. And that took a deflection, and the ball looped over the Manchester City goalkeeper. Ollie Watkins was right there asking for it, but he went on and he got the sole goal in that game. One of the other big games was the mid-table winners battle between Chelsea and Manchester United. I think in probably 2 years, this is one of the best games I've seen Manchester United play. And I don't know if because they had Rashford on the bench and Martial, but they really look well. And I like the way that Scott McTominay, a player who many persons were saying that he should have been sold along with William last season, he has stepped up and probably has scored the most goals this season in our competition for Manchester United. I don't know. A Manchester United fan need to come out and correct me if I am wrong, right? Yeah, man. Yeah, Badger, I believe so. I agree with you, Badger, that even, yeah, man, listen, after big up so far record music, and you don't know, listen, you say, this man supports whomever is playing. Once he's available, he's going to turn up at games with his family, win, lose, or draw. So I have to big him up, But listen, one of these days he needs to come onto the platform, bring a couple of his artists and just, you understand me? Come bust a one or two tune. Yeah. You understand me? But big up. Baggio says even if it were free, many people would not be attending the game nonetheless. I really believe that, Baggio. I don't think it being free would change a lot of things. All right. And he's asking me about Saturday's game. Aston Villa versus Arsenal. And he's asking me who I am supporting. Listen, I'm supporting a player in Leon Bailey, but the team that I'm supporting to win the game is Arsenal. I want Leon to have a fantastic game, but Arsenal is my team, so I want Arsenal to win the game. Just like I supported Amari Bell against Arsenal when he played for Luton, but Arsenal, I want to win the game. When Ethan Pinnock plays against Arsenal, when he represents Brentford, I want Arsenal to win the game, but I wanted Pinnock to have a good game, and he did that. That's just me. I am an Arsenal fan, an Arsenal supporter. I'm hoping that we can get a couple of the Arsenal people on our platform. I know that Charlene from AFTV, one of the presenters there, she was at Draxall on Sunday for that Mount Pleasant game, and she was also at the National Stadium last night along with Cecil from AFTV. They did some coverage on the game out there at the National Stadium. So big up AFTV. I mean, AFTV have a lot of fans out here. You need to do a live watch along from Jamaica. You understand me? Imagine that, Robbie, I put this one out there to you. Imagine you come to Jamaica, Arsenal versus Liverpool on the 23rd of December. and have a big screen inside the national stadium or a parking lot somewhere, it will be rum. I am telling you. I am telling you, you understand me? Arsenal versus Liverpool, watch along. You bring a couple of those Liverpool fans, a couple of Arsenal fans down, presenters, and you do the watch along in one of the biggest venues in Jamaica, and you'll see people who turn up and watch it. You understand me? I'm telling you, maybe the stadium car park or somewhere like that. I don't know. Robbie, you should do that. You and your Liverpool friends should partner and do a watch along from Jamaica. What do you say, my people? Is that a possibility? Ha ha ha. All right. So my people, yeah, recently I came upon some information concerning former former, all right, former national player. His name is Richard Edwards. Played for Danone, played for Harborview, represented the national team. Yeah, you're right. And so he is in Canada, and if you follow him, you would have noticed that he has a platform or an academy called Touch of Class. And at Touch of Class, he has done a lot of work in building an academy. All right. So this is some information, and I'm hoping if he's listening, he can, I'd love for him to join to help to bring some clarity to the matter. But recently, I've noticed that I haven't been seeing anything from, his academy pictures and what he's doing, because he's always putting out stuff from his academy. And, because I follow him, I would see a lot of these stuff out there. I have not been seeing much from him. And so attempts to reach him were a little bit difficult, but I started doing some digging, only to find out that he was under some suspension for misconduct. And this is because a person connected to football, connected to Jamaica's football, really brought some charges of misconduct against him, and rightly so, or rightly so, or wrongly, we are figuring out. But what I know is that it has affected him in terms of his ability. Right. Also played for Santos. Yes, as well. Big up, big up Spanner Banner. Played for Santos as well. Safe and best up yourself. Yeah. So yeah. So there you go. So he has been suspended, which means that he cannot, meet the needs to provide for his family, because he's suspended from doing the stuff that he loved the best or loved the most. All right. Now, I understand that some of this has to do with kids that he had before he joined this organization or this academy. So he brought some of his kids to this academy, helping the academy to expand and grow with a lot of the kids that he used to work with before. All right. Now, they wanted to move him away from the kids that he brought him and give him a next group of kids in the renewal of his contract. And he didn't want to basically to bring in a next set of kids that he was working with. So he would leave the first that he brought in, and then a next set of kids that he works with independently. They wanted him to bring those in that new age group. So basically, every person that he works with privately, they wanted him to basically bring over into this new, academy. All right, I'm paraphrasing. We're going to read some articles or some documents to kind of speak to some of this. All right. So because he refused, then they brought up allegations suggesting that he was emailing people at the new academy to come and join the academy that he's starting. You see how it is. But he's emailing the people that he's basically going on his own because he's not re-signing the contract. So he's asking the people who he brought there. He's telling the people he brought there that, listen, I am leaving. I'm going back to do what I used to do. Giving the people the option of joining him. And it is primarily on that basis that he has been suspended. And again, there's some damning information out there about some of the other allegations against him. And I'm saying this is by a man connected to the football in Jamaica, our Jamaica national football at the national level. And I'm thinking, as Jamaicans, right, why there's a propensity, there's this thing where we some of us don't like to see when some of us do well. And once other people start doing better than us, or people start speaking highly of other people, we have a problem. We act as if we are the only ones who are supposed to. Some of us are like that. Like nobody else is supposed to be respected. Nobody else is supposed to eat food. Nobody else is supposed to be benefiting from life except us. Why some of us are so self-centered and self-focused. And we don't check the consequences of a man's life to take him out of his means of employment for 6 full months. How does that help? 6 full months. So I have some stuff, and I have to bring up some of this because, like I said, it is in my opinion, this is just not. It's not serving anybody. Let me put it that way. It's not serving anybody any good, and we have to do better, right? So I did some digging because listen, when it comes on to these platforms, one of the things you have to do, you have to be you see, people, I did not say anything about JFF. You know. I said associated with the national. You see what I say now? You see, please state that it is a former contract worker of the JFF, not a director or an executive. Please make please make that clear. All right, people, this is not a director and this is not an executive member of the Jamaica Football Federation. This is a farmer, as you can see stated. Mr. Speed, your team did well given the circumstances. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. But I did not say the person is a director or an executive member. But just in case people were of that impression, please note it is clearly on the screen. And that is not what Management or I Am Sure Sports is saying. All right? Thank you, Mr. Speed. All right. Let's get back to this. So let me read this, people, and listen to the charges that were brought against him. I am writing to advise on the recent development of one of our coaching staff, Mr. Richard Edwards. Our U15 are the 208 girls OPDL head coach. Because of his action, we will be losing the vast majority of our players from both our club and possible the OPDL pathway. This team has been one of the top teams in OPDL for the past 2 seasons, and the club has supported their development during this time. So really, this is really giving credit to the work I believe that Mr. Edwards have done, because in this statement, they are saying that the team has been successful for the last 2 years. They have cited, they have what they call the summary of events, and they have additional information. All right, I'm going to go through. August 16, we formally offered Coach Richie a renewal contract to continue with the 2008 girls OPDL team, as well as offered him a contract to be the head coach of our upcoming 2011 girls OPDL team. So the original set of girls, they were saying that they were going to make him a head coach, but he was also going to take a next 2011 set that he had independently that would be brought in. All right, follow my people. Mr. Edwards, if you're listening, or anyone else who is abreast of the situation, understanding the dynamics, please come on and share your thoughts. August 23rd, after a week, he hadn't responded. A follow-up call was placed, and he said he didn't receive the email with the offer. Email was promptly resent while on the phone with Coach Richie, and he acknowledged receipt immediately. He asked for a week to consider. August 30th, I followed up personally with Coach Richie at the Save Max Field on that evening, as I asked again if he was accepting our offer. He mentioned his wife was getting a new job and wasn't sure if he would have time to coach if he had to watch his kids for 1 month while she was away. I reiterated that our offer was for a year. If he needed some time off, the club would cover for him while he took care of his family. I asked him at that time in person if he had plans to open up his own academy, as I had heard rumors, and if so, he would not be able to do both. He said no, he wasn't planning on running his own academy, and that he always get accused of that. In fact, he got agitated when I brought it up and I mentioned I heard a rumor that he was indeed doing so. September the 6th. Another week went by with no response. I approached Coach Richie on the field at Save Max to ask him about whether he plans to stay at the club or will be leaving. He said he will send an email tomorrow. I said that's fine, but he can just tell me no, as I told him I am in receipt of an email chain where he has promoted tryouts for his own academy, and that by doing so he has breached his contract and provided false information to families that it was okay to try out while under contract with OPDL club. I pressed the situation and said that on 2 separate occasions, I especially asked him if he was planning on opening up his own academy, and he denied both times. At this point, he realized I was aware of his plans, and to save face, he said, I told you I was setting up an academy for my son to play at which I immediately replied by saying he did not and had never brought it up before, and I didn't appreciate being lied to. I asked him to submit his answer in writing the next day, September the 7th. Coach Richie submitted his resignation effective September the 30th to the club and myself via email, blaming his departure on a lack of support from the club and myself. He blind copied the parent group. All right? There is more to come. I wonder if I can find Coach Richie. I wonder if I can. Coach Richie. I need to hear from Coach Richie, you know. All right, I'm going to try to see if I can. Because these things are some serious things. I have more information, you know, people. All right, because I'm trying to make sure I give you as much information so that you can all, you know, draw a conclusion. They have what they call additional information. It says that last year, I heard Coach Richie has been using his position with our club to recruit players to his private training. I approached him several times in 2002 over the course of the year and told him he was not to do this. he could run his own training, but not with players that are contracted to our club, as it impedes our program. And if he is encouraging players to train over and above the development matrix recommendations of OPDL, he was in fact potentially putting them at risk of overtraining injuries. All right. On each occasion, he insisted he trained players from outside the club. Note, I am not naive to think he didn't do this on many occasions, but we were not in a position to police this outside the confines of our club. Between September 1 to 7, I became aware that Coach Richie had been emailing members of both our club and other OPDL clubs to communicate that he was starting his own academy and would be holding trials. This was brought to my attention by another club in Ontario with copies of an email chain in which Coach Richie Training Academy, Touch of Class, was communicating that even if you are an OPDL player with a contract, you can still try out for his academy. Proof of this was submitted to Ontario Soccer via another club with me on copy. At no time did he advise the Brampton Soccer Club he was conducting tryouts with OPDL players, nor was considering opening up his academy to run teams. On Friday, September 1st and September 8th, still an employee OPDL coach with our club, his company Touch of Class held tryouts for players in the Brampton area. As per our OPDL contract with Coach Richie, he has to disclose any soccer activities that can be perceived as a conflict of which holding tryouts for teams with players under OPDL contract with other franchises, including our club, is not permitted. He did not tell us, and as such, believe he breached his contract with this unsanctioned tryout activity. On many occasions, Coach Richie used his position as an OPDL coach with an organization to promote the personal the writing is very fine, right? So we're not. Let me see if I can. This is a lot of. It's a lot of information, you know. See somebody saying that those are false assumptions. All right, let me see if I can get Coach Richie. Let's see if I can. I don't know if he knows that I'm aware of some of these things, you know. Right? I also was able all right. Like I have, let me just, because I have here, I was able to so with that as well, there is what you call the rights to appeal. All right. So appeal to Ontario Soccer rights to appeal information. You have the right to appeal the decision of the OPDL Discipline Committee. This decision may be appealed to Ontario Soccer and may appeal by any parties affected by the decision. The letter of appeal must specify your rationale for appealing decision of the OPDL Discipline Committee. Your rationale must include evidence for one or more of the following grounds: seeking leave for appeal on, making a decision for which the respondent did not have the authority or jurisdiction as set out in the applicable governing document. 2, new facts were not available when the decision was made. 3, failing to properly interpret the relevant published rules. 4, failing to follow procedures as laid out in the relevant published rules. 5, making a decision that has influenced by bias. F, alleged excessive fine, fee, bond, or suspension. Failure to provide adequate rationale will result in your appeal being disallowed. The appeal application form will be with all supporting evidence and documents must be submitted in writing to Ontario Soccer by one of the following method: registered mail or recognized courier service, hand delivery or fax or email, and there is the address, right? He says registrant and or registered organization who wish to seek to leave appeal decision will have 14 days from the date in which they receive notice of decision, together with their rights to appeal, to submit the following. So that 14 days has passed. The appeal fee is $750. Certified check may be payable to Ontario Soccer by credit card. All right. So he had the right to he has the right to appeal. All right. So we're going to try and get in touch with him. We're going to try and get in touch with some other persons in the area where this is taking place, so we can find out. All right. I think we have been able to reach out and get in touch with Mr. Edwards, so he can answer some of these things. Welcome, Mr. Edwards. Touch of class. Oh, we're not hearing you. All right, you need to check your microphone. So what you can do is sign back out, sign back in, and then when you're coming back, you turn the phone this way. Make sure you when you speak, you see the green bar going up and down, and then you enter the studio. Just make sure your audio is working. So sign out and then sign back in. I'm getting a text message here from a coach. He says, "We know this man. They are just jealous," meaning they are jealous of Shortman. So, hey, but call in and give your thoughts, man. Call in and give your thoughts if you're aware of the situation. But the best person I believe to hear from is all right. There you go. Yeah, we can hear you now, but it's a little low. Volume gone, man. Go ahead. Check, 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 check.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, loud and clear. That is it. All right, but I have a caller. I have a caller.
That is it.
Hold on. I have a caller. Who? Let me just. He sounds like he's aware of the situation. Like I said, this is just something I came into. So let me just. Let me just get them, and then I'll have you speak on the matter. So let me just call back. This person, give them a 5 minutes to talk, and then you can stick and stay. They were trying to call, and because I was speaking to you, I cut it off. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Good afternoon. Is this Coach Boris Johnson?
Yes, sir, man. Good afternoon. And good afternoon to all the listeners. Good afternoon to all of you. Man, let me take the opportunity.
Hold on. I have in studio Mr. Edwards, who some of these things are against. He is.
Okay. Let me take the time to say good afternoon, Sir Richard Edwards.
Afternoon,
man.
Brother.
Yes, sir.
Man, let me tell you this. This is the second time I'm coming on a forum like this to defend my good people that I know, integrity. And I'm going to tell you this. There's personnel out there in the world that won't stop at anything to destroy people because of this big J, which you call jealousy, and this big E that you call envy. And when you look at the timing of all of this, I can tell Mr. Richard Edwards, jealousy and envy. When people cannot do or doesn't understand what is it you bring to the table so they can replicate it, there will always be problems like this. And they will always try to destroy and to damage people good character that they spend years and years building. Instead of come and ask you, how is it you do this? How is it can we learn to do this? So therefore we can do it. You see? And for me, it's unfortunate. And why I say it's unfortunate, it's not only unfortunate, but it's unfair. It's unfair. And I must tell Mr. Edwards, lawyer up, my brother, lawyer up, because people should feel the wrath of what they do sometimes.
Yeah, man. You know, yeah, Barris, we know the system well enough now to know how to carry ourselves, and that's why I tried my best not to take all of this situation and bring it out into the public space. But I don't know how management find out this information.
It is good.
But it didn't come from me.
No, it's good. It's good that it's out there so it gives people some leverage as to what is happening. Because I know when they see it and they understand it, they attempt to look at it different. But management, I just want to say this to the public. It's not easy to try and damage people's reputation for something that is not even going to benefit you when you know that whatever you're putting out there is unfair and it's untrue.
Yeah.
If you understand for a better word, that's what I'm saying. But there's people out there that they're not going to stop at this. They're not going to achieve anything because at the end of the day, I can tell you this. They won't stop you. They will probably just slow you down for a bit. So I don't know why are these people, I keep on seeing them popping up now on a regular basis. They let me start to feel like we are in the last days, man. Yeah, I start to feel like we are in the last days because every forum now, this is what's coming forward. People trying to damage and to tarnish people's integrity and to put them on the spot for things that they know is false allegation. Because of you are doing something, it's not like baking a cake. You ever hear a man take a man to task management because he can bake a cake? No, everybody can get a recipe and do it. But when people see you do things that garner result, that is not something they can just pick up right on spot and they don't know what you're doing. Here comes the obvious problem.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it's unfair. It's unfair.
Well, I'm going to let Richard, just kind of detail what has happened to him because
Richard been doing what he's doing and what he listen, not what he takes to Canada, but what is it that he does to develop these youngsters in terms of soccer. Nobody is doing it. Henceforth, he realized, you know what? I can generate self-income because what I'm doing suit the development of a player, and they don't realize it. Now, I can tell you everything starts when you choose to go that route. And this is the problem we have in people management. This is the problem I'm finding out. Every time a young man comes and him putting things together and realize he can now launch out him things because people are scared and worried. Because everybody fighting for the numbers in the management. Don't fool yourself. Everybody want the numbers. Don't fool yourself, management. Management, let me tell you this. The time we come for your program and this whole tone and this whole thing, but this thing I know I get to my man. It's too much. Too much. Many people are coming every day. Because I tear down people. After people work so damn hard to build themselves. Them to stop it, management. If you don't know what the man I do, I understand what the man I do, I appreciate what the man I do, and the man decides to go you are. The fact that I understand what I do, and people realize how important it is, I go and go over the next bridge now and take it to the next level. Leave the man alone. But sit down with the man and have clean dialogue and understand what the man I do. You come now and try to tear down the man.
Yeah. Well, you sound very upset. You sound very upset about this.
Management, I'm upset. Management, let me tell you something. Management.
Yes, sir.
Management. You see when people work hard to build a brand, Eh? When people work hard to build a brand, you understand them vision, you see where it's going, and you realize where it reach and where it's going again.
Yeah.
You understand? Man, it's not easy, bridging. I whole heap of hard work and sacrifice. Mr. Edwards can't tell you that. And the same people that may try to bring him down can't tell you that too.
All
But
right.
may I tell you, some people, I don't know where to go. Yo, we probably have to start stirring the water with that thing. Because some like the water we go to that say, and I something else in the ear. Yeah, see this thing too often now, man. Yeah, see this thing too often now. People work so hard to achieve whatever and build them reputation, build them brand. And some little people just come down with some little false allegation and I try to take them. What I don't know. Because of the numbers. And because they don't know what you're doing, they don't understand it. So it's something where them can take up and run with. You understand?
All right. So let's yeah, man. So
I
what?
get to me now, man, man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it again. The provoking people, them, leave it alone and stop mess up people thing going forward, brethren. It's not a good feeling and it's a good taste. People work too hard to build them thing. People have them integrity and you try to bring some little coolness to come and tear it down.
Yeah.
You understand? It doesn't make no sense. People are going to fly past your brethren.
All right.
People not going to be the same every day. Some
Right,
people are going to rise up and them are going to become the
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let, because really and truly, I want the people to hear from Shortman himself, and then Boris. Then after listening, you can call back. Because yeah.
Man, tell the truth. I don't want to call back. All me I say, the people are not out there with these things and these whole attitude and mentality, brethren. Step away from it.
All right.
You understand?
Yeah.
You're not only hurting people, you talk about people's family, and you talk about millions of kids. And
because some people, what I wanted to do, Coach Boris, is that there are persons, who don't fully understand, So they think that, okay, but Shortman was doing something wrong. That is why I want him to speak, because they are saying that.
Wrong, man.
No, man. What I'm saying is that you may understand, but I want him to explain. So
honest man. I gotta tell you.
Yes.
Bob Marley have one lyric where I stick with for life.
Yeah.
Good friend you have. If Shortman I do nothing wrong, we will tell him before he even end up your stuff.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, Boris. You are kind of aware of how things.
No, honest man, boy, I never know if it's no more. All me I tell me, Mr. Sir Edwards, liar up, and drag them to the court. I come like I tell for take to some people learn and understand. Say, I understand this thing I work. You understand?
Boris, man, Boris, wait.
Me see that happen too much.
You are going to Boris.
All right, Boris, so let all right, Shortman is going to speak now, so just
Boris, we're powerful same way, man, but we're humble with it.
Yeah.
Get what I say?
A man can attempt too much money.
All right, Coach Boris, we're going to let Shortman talk. So, all right, and then if anything, you can call back, please. All right?
All right, blessed.
Yeah, man, blessed. That was Coach Boris, very upset. Go ahead. So, kind of, what I want you to do for me is, like, for people who don't understand the whole thing, right? Just start from the beginning. All right. My understanding is that you had your own thing going, and then you joined with an academy.
Okay, so let me start from there. Management Touch of Class Soccer was founded in 2015. At this current club that I was at, I started coaching there in 2020, right after COVID.
Okay, so you had Touch of Class, though you were working with kids from 2015.
From 2015. So that is 5 years before signing a contract with this club. Okay. Right.
So what happened to Touch of Class when you signed the contract with that club?
Nothing. So this is how it works, right? So remember, Richard Edwards is a different entity from Touch of Class Soccer.
Okay.
So when I signed that contract, as much as how they're offering Richard Edwards the contract, Richard Edwards has never been paid while contracted with the club. It's Touch of Class Soccer. So as much as how I'm the one who's on the forefront, on the ground doing the work, Richard Edwards is not the one who's being paid. You understand?
Okay, it's Touch of Class, the company.
The company itself.
Okay.
So, in essence, we started working together 2020. At that time, the person who was the director of football at that present moment didn't have any issue with what I'm doing outside of the club, because there's no what should I say? It didn't deem as a conflict of interest. If it was deemed a conflict of interest, I wouldn't have offered a contract to work at the club. You understand? And
Right. So
I
if
make it
so,
clear.
let me break it down. So when you joined,
Yeah.
there was no issue of conflict of interest,
No.
because if the matter of conflict of interest were brought up, you would not have signed the contract.
No.
Okay.
Because touch of class soccer is my personal business, right? If if it was deemed a conflict of interest, I would make sure that I make a decision that would be more suitable for me. You understand? And touch of class soccer is the one that I would say is my baby.
Okay.
So if I'm going to make a decision, it will not be to work for another club and just, like fold touch of class soccer.
Okay.
You
Makes sense.
understand?
Because that
All
is
right.
your, like you said, your baby.
Yes.
What happened to the kids you were working with from 2015 to 2020 when you signed the contract? Did they stay in touch of class, or did you bring them over to this club?
So let me make that a little bit clearer.
Okay.
I did not bring them to the club. They followed me to the club.
Okay.
You
Okay.
understand? So they like what I was doing outside
With
of the
touch
club
of class.
environment.
Right. Right.
You understand? So when I signed for the club, like most of the players, most of the kids that I was working with came to that club. When they arrive at the club, it's not like I was coaching every single player that I was working with. You understand? Some players,
Oh.
because it's different age group. So like I only at the time was coaching two age group. You understand? So at that time I was coaching two age group, '05 and '08. Now the '05 team graduated and matriculated into university, and some starts playing for different clubs,
Yeah.
right? Because the current club that I was with at the time, they didn't have a pathway for the older players, so they move on to university and different club that that has a pathway for them to continue their development. Fast forward, the person who hired me, right, resigned and took up a bigger role with the National Association, right? Then comes this individual, right? I'm not gonna call my name, and you know the reason behind this. I have to protect myself. Then comes this individual. In the year, I want to make sure I'm accurate with what I'm saying. 20, 2020, 2021 going into 2022, because
The latter stage of 2021.
yeah, the latter, I think December,
Yeah.
between November, December 2021.
One. Yeah.
Right?
We also have
He
Mr.
signed.
Junior Grooves, who I had to try and pry to get some information when I came upon this info. So he's here as well. So, but
Okay.
go ahead.
Well, welcome, Junior.
Yes, Richie. Before you say anything else, Manins, could I just interject with one thing?
Go ahead.
So I want to protect Richie from the perspective of, remember, if the public should understand and you should understand that we still have to operate within this football association. So you have to understand that when Richie is talking, he can't put himself against the football association itself, but he can say that there are people who are being jealous of what he's doing, because it happened to me before. And I told Richie when he first came up, I told him the whole I told him the whole pathway and where he would get hit and where he's not gonna get hit, because I did this before. But you have to understand, when you're trying to defend yourself in this situation, I'm trying to protect him right now. When you're trying to defend yourself, you have to be careful that you're still living in the same landscape. So we're still having to deal with the same football association, Ontario Soccer, and we still have to deal with Canada Soccer, Ontario Soccer. Our organization, our father organization, Ontario Soccer, is our province. It's actually very powerful. So we still have to live and breathe in that association. So when Richie is telling you,
I think he's moving, so probably he's frozen.
Yeah,
yeah,
probably
can
Yeah,
was.
can you can you hear me?
yeah,
Can you
yeah,
hear me?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're talking.
he can't veer off that and get into any
Personal.
situation about the organization. Let him just go straight on what happened, and then that will keep him safe. Because at the end of the day, after his suspension, he still has to come back and work in the football association because
Yeah.
he's good at what he's doing. Right? He's excellent at what he does. All right. God bless you guys.
All right.
All right,
Thanks,
all
Jay.
right, all right. Yeah, go ahead, Richie.
Yeah. So when that individual got hired, we sat down one Saturday morning. Never forget. After my first session, which he witnessed, and we sat down and we had a conversation. And I tell him, listen, I have my business, and I am not giving up my business for this club. It will not happen. So if you want me to continue, this is how it's gonna have to work. I'm gonna have to continue my business if you want me to coach at the club, or I have no problem walking away from the club and continue on my journey.
Yeah,
His response was, as long as you're not as long as you're not trying to start your own thing, we have no issues with it. And I said, I have no reason to start my own thing. You understand? Because at that time, I'm not thinking about anything in regards to starting an academy. I just want to continue to develop the players and see them excel. Right? Fast forward. Within the 2 years I've been at the club, right? I've only lost 3 games, 3 official games within a 2 year span. I've never lost a home game. But what happened is that everyone in the club started recognizing the type of football that my team is playing, the one that I was coaching, the type of football that they're playing. Whenever I'm doing a training session, like you would have another team beside my training session, and those parents are not watching their kids' training session, they're always watching my training session. So I think the chatter starts moving around the club, and everyone is start asking, why can't we get our kids to train like that? You understand?
yeah,
Remember, man is man. I am not the one who brought these type of things onto myself. You understand? I am just doing my work that I'm being paid
yes.
for, right? And I'm doing it the best possible way I can. I'm not giving 50%, I'm not giving 90%, I'm not giving 101%. I am giving my 100% best every single day. You understand? I've never asked for a raise of pay. I've never asked for additional funds. I've never asked any of these things, right? Fast forward 2023, right? Every year I have my camps. Every single year from 2015, no, I'm like, not 2015, 2017, we started our very, very first camp. And ever since then, we have at least 3 or 4 camps per year. This is the first time this year my camps has become an issue, right? So I'm like, listen, I'm keeping my camps, and I can tell you this: when the players are registering, I'm not the one who's doing the admin work to oversee who is registering or who is not registering. You understand? Because I have a admin staff, which is my wife and someone else does that type of work, right? And they're not going to tell me, oh, management register and management play for your team, so management can't participate in my camp. I don't have the time for that, right?
Okay.
Fast forward, most of the players within the organization register for my camp. What would you do in that case, management? You answer that question. What would you do? Would you turn back everyone who registered already?
I mean, no, but I think what they probably are saying is that how did they know about the camp? Did you so
Social
did you
media.
yeah, so maybe they were saying that you invited them to the camp.
No,
I
but
think
man,
that
is
is
man. This is
yeah,
the thing. This is the thing. This is the
yeah,
thing that I don't live my life like of this kind of perception. I don't know about other people. I can only
yes,
speak for myself.
yeah.
You see, anytime and like any parent at all can come on this forum and they can attest to this. I have never, never, ever gone to any parents and say, you have to come to my camp or else this can't happen. I've never. Sometimes I'm doing my camp or my training sessions that I offered, and the parents who I am seeing every day don't even know. So what I've done, I've posted my camp flyers online, and you know the sponsored thing that you do. So I put the sponsorship thing and let it run the ad for a month before the actual event. So of course the kids who's on social media, they're gonna see it.
And then you said that somebody would have been some of the kids that you had in 2015 that would and before you got to this place, because if you had a camp in 2017, is
Yep.
it possible that some of the kids from that camp that you had in 2017, 2018, 2019 would have ended up at this new thing, but they already knew about the camp from before you got to the academy, so they are regular attendees at the camp. So
Also,
yeah,
some of these kids, they didn't start out the first initial camp, probably the first 2 or 3 camps.
yes,
Because so this is when touch of class soccer really like got out in the wider GTA area after COVID. After COVID, everyone was hungry for football. Everyone, because we were like under lockdown for a long period of time, right? But each time they came out with the numbers, okay, one coach to 9 players, stuff like that.
yeah.
That's when I would post my stuff, and I was doing online training sometimes during the
Right. During
pandemic.
COVID, I know that. Right, right. I
Yeah,
would see
during the
some of those
pandemic, I
videos.
was
Yeah.
doing the Zoom. So I
The
was
Zoom,
doing
right?
Zoom
Yeah.
in my basement, sometimes outside, and sometimes I would have like 40, 50 like kids online working with throughout
Yeah.
that entire time, right? So when things reopened, that's when Touch of Class Soccer really like got out there, and we kept our first camp. And after that, like everything just, I don't know management, but everybody started recognizing the work and recognizing the quality, and then all the players that I've been working with since 2017, some of them 2015, now everyone is start getting into different academies or different environment, which the younger players have aspirations of going. For TFC, I've been working with right now. I would say probably 15 to 20 kids who is a part of their program right now, and kids who know those kids, seeing seeing
Okay.
their success and want to be a part of that development process. You understand? The problem starts, man. This is when the problem started. I was offered a contract,
A new contract. 'Cause you had a contract.
a new
So
contract.
was the old contract expired?
No, it was going to expire. So the one
Okay.
team that I was coaching, that contract, that discussion didn't started yet. They wanted me to take a new team, which is a younger age group, and I declined. That's when the first initial problem started. Who am
Okay.
I? Who am I to decline your contract that you're offering me? Who am I? I'm nobody according to them.
Okay.
You understand?
But
According to them.
in the charges that they brought against you, one of the things they said is that you were coaching the '05, and I think they had 2 years of success, and they wanted to give you like a younger age group. I think the
No,
20,
the 2008.
right, and then they wanted to give you the two. They wanted to give you 2 teams now.
At 20, at 20,
11.
2011, a
Yeah,
2011 age group.
and you declined.
I declined the offer.
Okay. All
One of
right.
the one, so one of the reasons why I declined that offer is that I have family situations that I have to be mindful of what I'm taking on.
Yes.
Because one thing with me, and anyone can tell you this, if I give you my word that I will be in it 100%, I cannot go back on my word. I'm that type of person. I cannot go back on my word and say, you know what? I didn't remember that I had to do this. So, I can't continue this journey. I'm not that type of person. If I start something, I want to finish it.
Right. Because
But
they
at the
did
same
brought
time,
up
I want
about
to
your
give my
family
best.
situation. They brought up in it about your family situation. So you declined that contract, and from you declined the contract, the problem started. But
The problem started.
how did that lead to you being suspended for 6 months?
I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna
Without
get to
pay?
that stage. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get to that stage. I'm gonna get to that stage. So that first contract that they offered, I declined it. I was training. But when you feel like something is in the air,
Yes.
from then, man, I make sure I protected myself. Because I started seeing different type of movements. I can tell you this, man, I grew up in a community that if you don't have your head screw on your neck, believe me, you're gone. You understand? So everything that you're doing, you have to make sure that you know your surrounding, know what you're saying, that type of stuff. Know the people you have around you, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Right? So I started, seeing certain traits, certain movements, and boom, so I protected myself right away. Right? So I knew that that person is gonna come with something. You understand? He was going to come with something that he will try to accuse me of. And I
Okay.
know that I am sitting on the actual truth and fact. Fast forward. The man attacked me on the field. I'm setting out my field to run my session. Right in front of the players, Came on the field and attacked me in an abrasive manner. But the notion out there is for us, typical black people, our reaction should be aggressive. Yo, I was calm. If I tell you, man, if at some point in time during that situation, like I didn't felt like he's invading my space, I'd be lying.
Okay.
I'd be lying. And while all of that is happening, all the players witness it, everything. So that was the straw that broke the camel back for me. Immediately after you walk away, I send out that resignation letter and I copied all the parents on it because I think personally, all of them need to understand what I've been
Oh,
dealing with.
okay. So the resignation came, and after the resignation, you were suspended.
No, it's after that. I'm going to get to that stage.
Okay, so you sent the resignation letter and you sent it to all the parents.
Sent out the resignation letter. I sent it to the board, sent it to the parents, all the parents. Everybody know what's going on now because, like, I don't think when it comes to adult stuff, the kids need to know. But the mere fact that he attacked me on the field in front of all the kids, I have to protect myself now by allowing the parents to understand what I've been dealing with. You understand? Because
Okay.
none of them, up until then, none of the parents knew what I've been going through. Right? Again, that happened. My resignation date, last day, was supposed to be the
The
30th.
30th of September.
30th of September. The season go on until I think October 23rd. Right? Throughout this whole process. Prior to that, I need to say this. Prior to that, man, the team, and these are people who are running football, the team went on a 15-day period where they played 6 games. These are kids, 15 days and 6 games, and we're not in a tournament. The kids came up to me, who is their coach, as someone who understands the landscape of
But
football.
you had to resign though when they came up to you.
No, this is before. This is prior. This is
Okay.
before. This is before. So it's a lot of turn of events that led to the resignation. The kids came up to me and asked, Coach, can we get a day, to just have no football, but we want to do some board game to, have a team bonding event. I went up to the man and said, listen, the players are requesting this. Immediately, without even like putting thought to it, immediately, no, I have a program to run and I'm going to run my program. Well, I can tell you, man, you see that day when he said he has to run his program, only 6 players showed up, yeah? 6 players showed up. Four of the players were active. 2 players was injured, right?
Yeah.
A parent called me and say, what's going on here? The kid's supposed to be doing their fitness and technical session, and the practice end in 45 minutes, and no parents is here. All the kids had to go in a parent car and wait for their parents to arrive. And these are female players we're talking about. We're not talking about boys. That parent had to get out of his car to allow the players to stay in the vehicle until their parents arrive. Now, as someone who is overseeing this group of players, now that's a cause for concern for me. You understand? Because these are the players that I'm working with on a day-to-day basis, and if they're not in it mentally, how am I going to ask them to give their 100% best? I can't.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm gonna go right into the process that led to
So you wrote the resignation, I think, the second week in September.
in September.
At this time, you were
September
not
7th. September 7th to be exact.
But you were not suspended. This was
No.
after the verbal discourse on the field between you and this said person.
Yep.
So you wrote on the 7th of September, you wrote a resignation letter.
Yep.
That you'd resign at the end of the month, which is September
30th.
30th. All right. When did you become aware that you had been suspended since you had resigned?
I'm gonna tell you. I think I'm assuming now because I don't want to go on my phone to kind of like bring up the exact date, but the season ended October 23rd. I received this note November, I think 5th.
All right. This is what I need to do. So you wrote the letter the 7th.
Yeah.
You were not suspended until in November.
Till November 5th.
All right. But did you coach all the way up to the 30th of September?
I coached all the way up until October 23rd because I coached. So the team. We went to the finals. So we went to the finals.
No. So what I don't understand is how you resigned and still continued.
I'm gonna get to that. The parents themselves went to the president and made a request that the coach started the season with the players. So all we're asking for is for him to finish the season.
Okay.
But we're asking for him to finish the season with this person who is accusing me of all of this situation. This person don't come in contact with the coach.
And that was the premise that you will finish out the season, and this person who brought up the allegation should not come in contact with you.
Yeah.
So you finish out the season. October the 23rd, you went to the final and you lost.
Yeah. Thinking everything was good.
All right. Okay. But you weren't going to go back because you resigned.
Yeah. I had no plans of going back.
So now you got suspended. And you got suspended because one of the things. Yeah.
No, I got suspended because I decided that I am going to start my own academy. You understand? And this person I spoke to face to face, and I told him on the premise in which I want to start my own program. I have my young kids, right? And I said, listen, I have no problem walking away from this environment because now I realize what's going on. I need to take precedence of my own child. Because
what I'm trying to understand is that if I say I resign September and in October I started sending invitation to people, would it be a conflict if I have resigned? I don't know. So I'm trying to find out, when did you start engaging the parents? According to
man. Again, all of this is assumption. I have never engaged any parent at all. You understand? The email was sent out, and everything that was presented to the governing body is all assumption based. So there's no
Oh, okay.
facts. There's no facts to the situation that was brought up on me. There's no facts. Everything was assumption based. So he's
Okay.
assuming that I'm dialoguing with parents. He's assuming that I'm poaching players. He's assuming all of these things. It's all assumption based, and that's why I said to you, once I started to feel the environment, I had to protect myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see somebody in the background. Richard. I mean, I don't know. Are you trying to watch it? I don't know this person. Did you invite them?
Ooh,
This person in the background. I don't know if you send them the link.
ooh, probably.
Oh no, you send them the wrong link, man. They come inside the studio.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. All right, all right. So your suspension is for 6 months, and that suspension means that you're not supposed to be doing any sort of
No
coaching.
man, the suspension only affect me if I'm doing anti soccer event. So like anything that is sanctioned, that is deemed sanctioned, I'm
Oh,
not
you
I'm
can't.
not eligible to do
But
it.
you could train your son and you
I
could
can
train.
still train and do
Oh, okay,
everything
I
like
see.
normal. You know what I
Okay,
mean? But
all
my
right.
my, my, my what
Manins,
I want to protect though,
Richie,
man,
Go,
is Junior?
Richie.
go ahead, Mr. Graves. Okay.
Yeah, one of the things I was called into his hearing as a witness,
Oh,
so that's how I show up.
Yeah.
oh. So you
That's
get
how yeah, I was called into the hearing as a witness.
people. Let me say.
But
Hold on. For those of you who don't know, this is Easy Grow's father. We have to hide this picture because he was calling to be a witness, and so he's in witness protection program.
witness protection program, I mean, that's a great one. That's a brilliant mind right there. Yeah, it's true. From now I'm hiding. I'm hiding Richie from now on. Okay, okay. But the situation is, I think Richie can be clear with this. Is they brought up stuff like uh, um, social media posts that you would have to say, I'm having a tryout next week, or I'm
Oh,
having a tryout, da da da.
oh,
Yeah.
So they'll use that type of thing. The person use that type of thing to record it. Any
oh,
information they could get from parents, they use it and document it. But
I
I'm saying,
see.
once somebody have to go to that level and do that type of stuff after trying to hire you to train not only one team but two teams, it shows the value that he has. The same person tried to hire you twice to do two teams, and then now the same person come to actually rip your family apart.
Yeah.
Like that's not good. Then
But
that's where I'm saying my
but
my my thing there is just when the social media piece of just
my name's man. This social media post that that he's pulling up is from 2 years ago, eh?
yeah.
And if you look on
Yeah.
those pictures, you'll see
Hmm.
Milake days on it, and you you you'll see people.
Right, because
people
you did work with the sisters.
yeah.
Yeah. So why didn't you appeal the decision?
The thing is, my name's man. I have nothing against the association.
Oh,
I have
okay,
nothing against the association, so I don't need to fight any battle with the association. It's
okay.
6 months. 6 months is winter. Um, Other people may be in a similar situation like mine, and they would probably get a year if indeed they had facts or more evidence that I breached some form of agreement. You understand? Management, what I want to really talk about is this. I'm gonna get to that part before we continue. Management, right now I'm a part of Freddie coaching
Yeah.
staff, right? Management, the situation reached as far as the national team head coach. You hear what I said?
The
The
national.
situation, this man,
Hold
this
on.
man called the national team head coach and telling the national team head coach that I am over here in Canada running camps under Jamaica Football Federation name. None of that has ever happened. Not even one time. You understand? And my problem with it is to have someone like this being a part of our national program, it's not good.
Well, I must, Mr. Speed, having listened to the dialogue, said that this is a former contract worker of the Jamaica Football Federation,
Okay, good.
suggesting that he's no longer
A part of it.
a part of it. But yeah, I think that is
Sorry, my name's man. Let me try to help there. I am not in this to elevate Richie, sink Richie, because anyway, I'm a better trainer than Richie anyway. I'm just kidding. Okay.
No, you've been in it long enough, man.
No, Richie. No, just so you know, Richie played for me. Richie played for me in League One, the champions where you have on. Richie played for me, right? So Richie and myself grew up in Harborview. Through Harborview, we have the same blood when we train players. We excite players, and players become very, very good at what they do because they get confidence, and we give them wings. Here's the situation: we're not here to try to kill anybody, to destroy anybody, but we're here to say, Mr. Speed may say he was a contract worker, but I have a problem when we elevate people above our own people who are great at what they're doing. So Richie, being a great trainer at what he does, is now being superseded by somebody who doesn't know what he's doing. And the person who doesn't know what he's doing have to fight the person who can do to kind of elevate themselves. That's the problem that I have. Mr. Speed may say is a contract worker, but I am telling you the mindset of the Jamaican people is to use somebody else over their own people until a bolt exceed and go and somebody give him the opportunity and he goes above and beyond. His coach goes above and beyond, and then people start coming back to Jamaica and realizing Jamaicans are very, very talented at what they do. I have a problem when we go outside and bring in somebody to do what another Jamaican can do. You might say he's contracted and he's gone now, but he might show up next month. You understand? And then now we have a problem again, because these are people that can't do what we do. So they try to fight everything that they see somebody that can do. Excellent. Richie's on the West End. Richie actually trains for me as well. Richie is now my head coach of my women's League One team, League One reserve team. So he's on the West End of town. I'm on the East End of town. But the same fight that he's getting, I told him this. How many years ago, Richie?
4 years.
I told him this 4 years ago. Why? Because I know he's in it for the children. He's in it. He's coaching in a mindset that's player centric. And what we have done so far in Canada is think club and we think coaches. So now we lose the fact of anybody who can develop players at a high level, and we push them aside. I get a 1 year ban. I got a 1 year ban. Richie, you're good. You only have 6 months. I got a 1 year ban.
My 6 months at lunchtime.
Yeah. All right. So the truth, I just want to get from that perspective that Jamaican people understand that there's some people that there's some people that write the books, write the coaching education books. You understand? There's some people that read it, regurgitate it, and get their coaching license. But Jamaica has some of the people who write it. But we don't believe in our own people because we're a little bit darker. It's the mind of
Yeah, I think we lost Mr. Group. Some people are saying that, yeah, go ahead.
Have to read it and regurgitate it, but some of us have the talent to write it. And we don't look at our own brother man as one of those people who can write it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. Some person are saying that this person is not a Jamaican. Right? They just work in Jamaica.
He's not a Jamaican.
Oh, he's not a Jamaican, but he has worked with the Jamaica Super. But after the 6 months, what I want to ask, after the 6 months, right? Do you have to reapply to be engaged at that level, or you can just get back in. And if
I can get back in at that level, but to be honest, man, right now, me I take a step back and go and look from the outside. I go continue to work in my own personal environment. With the
and it doesn't affect, right? So it doesn't affect your own personal touch of class.
No.
So
The only thing
is not suspended.
No, the only thing that I'm going to do now, which is to go with the advice of the association by becoming a sanctioned organization, and I've taken the steps with the assistance of Junior as well to start getting the documentation and the information that is needed to become a sanctioned organization.
Okay. So if say after 6 months you start doing your thing, and some of the kids from this other club joins whatever you're doing, could the soccer association challenge that or saying that no, you can't, even if they voluntarily come over because
the thing is to become sanctioned is not as easy as how I'm saying it out of my mouth, because it boils down to a body of people making the decision. But at the same time, I still have to do my due diligence, which is to find out all the information that is needed. All I can do is to provide all the documentation that is needed for me to become sanctioned. The rest is up to
what I can say is that I know the coach. He listens to a lot of people, which is good. Or let me say, he hears a lot of people because he's very cordial, and he will listen to opinions and get input. But I don't think he's swayed by a lot of what people say. You understand me? So though someone would have called the coach to say that, which is I think is absolutely not necessary. That part I can't agree with. I can't agree with you calling to say something that is blatantly untrue about a person for your own personal gain. I think the issue at the club is a more reasonable discussion or disagreement to have. But now to go as far as to because at the end of the day, you're a former national, and your input and your involvement in the football, I believe, would have way surpassed this other person, no matter what they have done for Jamaica. What you have done and contributed from your youth days up to this point is way more valuable, and that will always be appreciated, and it will high value amongst the Jamaican populace and thing. So I don't think that part should have taken place. I just want to make sure that, at the end of this, that you still are able to do what you want to do, and this person doesn't continue to fight or to block it. Because a lot of people would have heard this and say, yeah, man, I said the Jamaican them stay, man. I said them go a foreign and go on like them them can behave the same way them behave at Jamaica. True, them could have been at Jamaica and just do this and do that. You see how Canada thing strict as you slip your slide, giving the impression that you are the one who are wrong. Yes. I think it is important that you clear it up that you never did anything wrong in all of this. You just chose not to appeal because you didn't want to go against this.
Man, I want to say something too. You see, in the meeting, you're allowed to bring witnesses. I brought 9 witnesses. He brought 1 witness. And the 1 witness that he brought, all assumption. So why did you bring that person? Do you know why? Because that person have a situation with me before that over similar jealousy turn off events.
Oh, okay.
You understand? So you see what they were trying to attempt to do, and it didn't work. It did not work.
Oh, so the witness that
he brought
is somebody who had previous issues with you.
With me over similar situation that he has issue with me with.
Oh, I see what you mean. See what you mean.
Richie, can I say something?
Yeah.
Man, you brought up a very important thing before the populace go off, leave off and go, well, you see, in Jamaica, you can just start up a thing and nobody care and da-da-da-da. the key thing is there is such a rule that if you're in a sanctioned body, I give credit to OSA and Canada Soccer for all the rules that they create, because at some point you're going to break one of them. But it says if you are in a sanctioned body, a club within the sanctioned body, and you start up an unsanctioned club, then you broke a rule. Yes? So Richie, now think about this. He's coming from an unsanctioned training school where he's training kids on his own and making kids better. And they're going back to various clubs, not only Brampton, but they're going all across the globe to play for different teams. So he's in violation of it before he joined. He was in violation of it until he signed that OPDL contract with that club. At that point, they should have told him that there's such a rule.
Oh, I see. So leading up to joining that club, you're saying that the rule was broken.
It wouldn't apply because he wasn't a part of a sanctioned body.
Okay. Oh, I see what you mean. So the rule
he was just doing private training.
Yes. So I see what you mean. So once he signed the contract,
yes,
this club now, the rule applies because now you're in a sanctioned academy.
Club.
So therefore,
a sanctioned club, and now you started your unsanctioned academy.
And now you're still running because you're
still running. Yeah, exactly. You're operating in an unsanctioned environment.
So they should have
so
said,
now,
that's what I mean. So they should have said that to him. That
yes, because they know the rules. They know the rules.
What I mean.
But so, man, the reason why I bring this here and you'll see Richie smiling is this, right? It's not Richie that just goes out and starts a training environment. All of the national coaches and provincial coaches and all of them that do their thing and train in clubs and train in universities and our league coaches, they have their little thing on the side too. Not all, some, most have their little thing on the side that is unsanctioned.
Okay.
But the rule applies to who you want to charge.
Yeah, so I like that because no, this brings clarity. So the moment they decided to sign him to a contract, they should have said to me, listen, what you are doing, you can't continue.
Yes.
So do you want to go back to it? Because if you sign with us, you're going to have to stop that, which is what Richie said.
But man, remember, I said to you before,
it's okay.
I sat down with him and I said, this is my business, Touch of Class Soccer. This is your club, which is your business. I am not dropping my business to suit your business. So if we can work together with no issue, I have no problem. Yeah, until then, knowing the rule, because as a technical director, you know the rule. I know the rule as well. And that's why I make sure I state it clear.
Okay.
You understand? It wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem up until I declined the contract offer. The moment I declined that offer, yeah, man, who are you to decline my offer? That is the thing. Who are you? Remember, I am nobody, which is perfectly fine for me. However, I am not going to accept your contract, regardless of what you're going to do. I'm not signing it. I don't want it.
Whoa.
Richie, I'm just addressing it from the perspective of I'm trying to paint the picture the way is to say this. Not even myself, who I have been a part of Ontario Soccer and Canada Soccer, and I'm a national certified, the first club to be nationally certified under CONCACAF through Canada Soccer. And I wouldn't know that rule because I'm not going there to try to break that rule or set up a rule and work with that rule. That rule it doesn't, like, when I heard it, I was like, is there such a rule? Like, you're sanctioned, you're in a sanctioned club, training for this club. and now you actually are already you've already started your own private training session, and then now you're in context of a rule that you actually brought players from your private training and brought them over. The reason why I question it, Manning, is because so many people have done it. There's so many people doing it, and they're top coaches. They have to earn some money on the side.
Yeah, so here's where I'm struggling a bit. So I have 20 youths that I'm working with. Somebody sees me doing this great job privately, training these 20 youths. They say, hey, we have a sanctioned club. Listen, we want to give you a job in the club. All right. So I bring my 20 youths and I join the club. Right. But because I was doing a great job before this club, people still want to bring youths to me. Does the rule state that I cannot do anything with those youths anymore? I can't.
Oh.
Rule those.
You can't.
I can't. And what you're saying is that if the president, if the person at that club had said to you, the director of football had said to you, now that you are here with us, you cannot coach no other group, you would have said, well, I am going back to coach the other groups, because you're saying that you would have chosen that path.
My business that management.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, man, my business that I'm not going to choose the next man business.
Because then some of your players would have joined.
Most of them wouldn't go.
Okay. Yeah.
Man, this
a very tough thing, because
listen, man, it's bigger than just football, man.
I'm gonna give you a good example, right? I used to run a team and did very well in the leagues in St. Anne. So there were two teams in the community, and we came together saying that let's bring the teams together. So we brought the teams together, all right? And good coach, the team was doing well. We call the team Priory Soccer Academy. It was a merger of Volvo and Priory Football Club. And so that's what happened, all right? There was some falling out. And what ended up happening, I walked away. So the players that I had, like the other club, became the owners of those players. So I had to wait until the season restarted, and then some of those players came back to my club. So the risk we run is that when we have our private thing and we join up with others, I think we have to find ways now of putting clauses in there that if there's a severance of ties, then something like has to be done to protect the interest that I brought in. You understand me? Because if I've been working with 10 youths and I've brought them to the age of 16 and doing well, and you give me a job and you say, listen, bring over your youths, and I bring them over. And when they are 17 now, I decided that no, I don't want to renew my contract. And you're saying, like, well, these kids have no choice but I don't know. It seemed like very problematic, or you can't work with them. It's very tricky. And maybe there has to be some clause in these contracts that clearly outlines what happens in a case like yours. What happens when 4 more kids come and say, listen, I want to work with you because I've seen your work. Do I say no, or do I invite them to the club? So no, what I become is that my talent is becoming the recruitment agency for the organization. So you understand what I mean? Yeah. People are running to the club because of me. Not because of the club doing any marketing, but because of how good I am, people are coming in. So does it make sense? Or should I then just stick to myself and get all of that talent?
Well, to be honest, man, right now at this stage and point, that's one of the decisions that I've made. Instead of just developing all these players for that organization, I've taken the bold step and say, you know what, I'm going to start my own thing. And like I said, that was when the problem started, right? So much so that, like, I tell them some of my personal business, and I found out that I found out that he was sitting down with another person, telling that person my personal business. And remember, I said that to him with trust. You understand? With trust. And I can say that I heard a conversation with him,
Yes.
spilling out all my personal problem, and he's accusing me again of lying during that process. And I have government issued document to prove that what I said to him was actually true.
Yeah.
But
It's
these are the people who people put in charge of kids' future.
all right. So, Mr. Man, you have heard from Mr. Grooves. Anything you want to say? We have to ask you. You're muted. We have to ask you before Izzy and what your thoughts on Izzy's performance in the two games. On a different note,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, but Izzy will talk for herself. Izzy's game. I leave my kids' game to talk for themselves. I only wanted you guys to see my son.
The people are asking if you have a male version of Izzy for the CDM in Jamaica national team.
Listen, I had a version for the Jamaica national team, but some jealousies from back then. Stop it. But he's older now. He's 30. He's 33, and with a family. And Mr. Edwards would tell you his skill level. It's a Ronaldinho type skill level that Jamaica is.
Whoa.
So PSV Eindhoven, 5 years in Italy, but it is what it is. But Izzy's, I don't want to talk on Izzy because I let my kids play and train and work, and their work ethic speak for themselves. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say I'm going back into the witness protection. All right, but one love Jamaica, one love Mannings. I appreciate you. And Richie, we're good, man. We're good. You're good.
Blessings, man.
All right, yeah,
Well
man.
work, man. Well work.
Yeah, we'll work. We just make sure the kids. We just do it for the kids. Them. That's all.
And I hear a man say that when people could make back pass the goalkeeper, you used to bicycle kick the ball from half line to your goalkeeper.
Yeah, Mannings.
That's an urban
Okay.
It's true.
No. So what happened is the Jamaican public used to set up for this, especially Harborview. What happened is I got so aware of the ball, my senses for the ball are so aware that the first time that a goalkeeper kick out the ball, what I wanted to do is I wanted to bring a shock event to the other team. So what I do is I choke while he's going and we're bicycle kick it back to my goalkeeper. So it was easy for me to do because my awareness of the ball was very, very, very keen. To me, like the ball was more like a balloon because I play with it so much, yeah? So one of the times we played against Santos, and this is even better than the half line. We're playing against Santos at compound. And Santos left winger go down the wing and cross it. And when he crossed it, I am actually on the penalty spot. And I see the ball coming across and a nice bicycle kick like I could have scored. But I decided I'm going to back pass it into DV's hand. And I jump up and said, DV, I'm bicycle kicking. And when I look, when DV hold it, DV go, Junior, you're a madman, you know.
Say a bicycle kick the corner back to your goalkeeper.
Yeah. From the penalty spot. Because it was so easy for me to do. I got so comfortable with it. It was so easy for me to do. Now they will kill me for score.
All right. Tell Izzy not to practice that art. All right.
No. She does everything else. No, but I thank the Jamaican public and I thank you guys for the support that you're giving her. She feel it. You know, when I talk to her, she feels very, very good playing for Jamaica. She has the opportunity to play for England, have the opportunity to play for Canada, and she's dead set on playing for Jamaica. And she just wants the country to unite. That's all she wants.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, man. And all the best. Grace and peace will multiply to you and the household, man. Shalom.
Yeah. All right. God bless you. Back in witness protection.
All right, so that was Judah Cruz. Yeah, Richie, what like someone just said, hearing all of this detail tells me that Shortman should chalk this up as a learning experience. Hug up the 6 month suspension and just move on.
No, man, we move on. My name's man.
Yeah.
That's the thing about me. Yeah. Um, like the only thing I can protect, I try to protect, is my character and my reputation. Because sometimes that's the only thing you have. You know what I say? And it just sad. It just sad in a sense to know that you've done, so much or so many different, great work inside the country, develop so many different players in the country, and to see them, going on to different areas of the world excelling. Um, but then when somebody like the person who is in question, trying to attack your reputation and your character, you have to protect that with everything. And that's why me personally did lie out. Because going into that meeting, I was there, but I still have my representative
Yeah.
with me. You understand? Because especially when you know you're being accused of something that you know you
Yeah.
haven't done.
Well, yeah, we have one of your brethren right here now.
Who's that?
On the line, they call him New York, New York. City so nice they named it twice. Kingston, Kingston. Go again, Diego Ogilvy. How you doing?
What you talking about, man? Not not the brethren. No, our thing different, I'm his elder. Respect to one of the greatest number 6 ever come out of Jamaica and play for me in New York.
Well, go on, Diego.
Walk to the man, my brethren. We keep the things separate. And we don't do that for go on to Jamaica. We pick the one thing, say, them and big man and brethren. We don't have to separate anything. You're looking at a man called Shortman Edwards.
Sorry,
The
boss.
man is full of impeccable character and respect.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's why I had to call Shortman. Come here, something. But I just missed the show, so I'm not too late. Cause your character can't be questioned,
Yeah, man.
Cause they go preach it to the mountaintop. This man, Manning's man, this man played for about 10 years, man. And the only man not giving no trouble, pure respect, and the next general manager named Connie. Norbert Paul. Don't tell him, don't forget Norbert
May soul
Paul,
rest in
man.
peace. Yeah, may his soul rest in peace. Governor that Diego, man.
Yo, what do you mean, man? Man tell the diaspora and the New York, Jamaica, say, you see this number 6 in front of you, nobody passed this man, Nobody passed this man.
Yeah.
The man that just lock it off when they're ready for go home, man. A 9 straight championship win. About that, right there, Chad, man?
Yeah, man. 9.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
But impeccable
We are
character.
talking about, we're not talking about against Jamaicans, because we're talking about the Caribbean Cup. Him up on the next level, We're not talking about the locals, We're talking about against Trinidad and Nigeria and Barbados and them side there, 9 straight Caribbean Cup, man, in Brooklyn, man.
Yeah, but you
So,
said the
am I
important
too
thing is-
late? What is going on now with this question? Or I need to go look for the repeat and call back.
Boy, Diego, I done it. Show done. Sure.
Oh, gosh, man.
So what I'm going to do, because I think what I can do is probably I will send you the number so you can call him, because I don't want him to go back over everything, because the 0 and 48 minutes we have been on, and then probably he can just give you summarize everything for you at the end of it. But I'm glad that you came out and speak of his character, because the truth is, you see, here's what. Sometimes when you hear things, you must always say, listen, but that's not the person. No, this can't be right. But the person I know is not like that. And you must always stand up for people's character when you hear things. And so that is why I had to talk to him, because I've never heard anybody in football from Dunoon to Santos, to Harborview, to national team, question his character, just like how you just said.
All right, so then all you have to do, just give me this one now. Who suspended him? FIFA? Who suspended Shortman?
There you go, Canada. So you see, like in Jamaica, you'd have CASAFA, and then you have JFF.
Yeah,
Anterior soccer. It's 6 months. We don't have nothing against the association. The 6 months, like somebody said in the comment section, Mannings man, is a learning lesson. I'm gonna learn my lesson, but at the same time, learning my lesson, I hope the other person who attempt to try tarnish my reputation, I hope them learn for them lesson as well, because the next time it's not going to just be a situation where they attack my character and me just calm with it. It's going to be something that will become public.
Yeah. So what happened, Diego, is that it's like he said, suppose Senton Football Association suspend Manning, but it is I don't have a problem with Senton Football Association. I have a problem, say, with John Tom, because John Tom is the one who brought my character and reputation into disrepute that led to the Senton taking that decision. But I chose not to fight it because it's 6 months. You understand me? But I have to speak about the person who tried to tarnish my character and reputation. So that's the situation. But I think,
Okay.
So he will talk, man. So he will talk to you and give you some, because I know.
But Shortman, just remember the greatest ever walk on earth, Muhammad Ali. 3 years suspension and come back and conquer the world. See, when you're great and you're all clean, we can't stop you, genius. You don't know how we preach a thing, me and Norbert.
Diego, all right, Diego, all right. You see, what you just said, all right, this is my art there. You see, all of the naysayers, the body of work that I've been doing can't go unnoticed, because it is a body of work that has already done and is like on the verge of continuing. There's a massive influx, there's a big wave coming with talent. You understand? Can't stop. It can't stop. At the work, you see, the work itself cannot hide. The work itself cannot
hide. Like I always preach, it's the work that brings you success. Always remember that in life. And once you work, can't be stopped. Remember what my grandmother always say, nobody no stone green man good. So a great, right? And a right, and it look pretty.
That one.
So you know, so the haters never going to them. You must say me and Norbert, when we are conquer Trinidad and Barbados and also the Jamaicans them fight against you, man. To success we ever do.
Yeah, man. But it always happen like that. People are like winners doing Diego. People are like winners. They say Manchester City, quality football. Pepper win like every year, and then if you look how much haters Pepper have.
Shortman, nobody spoil up the show about Manchester United and Pep.
No, Mr. Chelsea fan, no, Diego, no. Yeah, what you want to management, he's a Chelsea fan. He's a Chelsea fan, but you have to give Caesar what is due to Caesar. Yeah, man. He's a Chelsea fan. You have to give Caesar what is due to Caesar.
Yeah.
All right, genius. You know me, Lincoln.
Yeah.
We deal with it.
But I like the example you use, people not stone green man.
The money's man. You're not deal with it right now. Don't worry about that. You're not deal with it right now. You can't know what I'm going with you.
Yeah, man. It's one way.
And look where you are, Simon. You are Simon join the organization and look at the success. What we're part of the Guana channel. The whole world.
Yeah, man.
We're excited right now for the reggae boys.
Yeah.
Oh, and you and Simon was a part of that to an organization that them to take. So see, I said go, and them still a fine stone.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we'll make a link up afterwards.
One last thing, One last thing. Remember the great Mike Tyson saying, you must have haters, that's part of life, Once you're successful, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, all of them say.
Yeah,
man. Then money's money. People are going to hate Lionel Messi. What I tell you, sir? One of the most humblest, innocent, great football ever walked on earth.
True.
If they're not going to hate Jesus Christ who come die for them to give them everlasting life, who they will not hate and trust to that. All right, no more preaching.
All right, that was Diego give. You understand me? But good points, though. You understand me? It is normally. I always say, if you don't want to criticize people, do nothing, be nothing, say nothing. And you understand me? And I'm telling you, if those three things are happening in your life, people will still find a way to criticize you. So if you're going to be criticized, be criticized for being good and doing good. Because no matter what, people are going to criticize you. So be good and do good. Because you're going to have critics anyway. What I said yesterday, your reputation, people may be able to affect it, but your character is who you are on the inside. You understand me? And only you control your character. Nobody outside can tarnish your character. What they can do is tarnish your reputation, because your reputation is what people think about you. And that is not as important as what you think about you. The most important opinion of yourself is your opinion and God's opinion. Believe me.
Manins.
Yeah, man.
I'm coming out of witness protection for this one day. I spoke to Richie about this. You see, when you're doing something that is good for kids, when you're doing something that's good for bringing them to the next level of football and then keeping them focused, getting them off the street and encouraging them to do well in school, that is good. And so whenever you're doing that, evil tries to find its way there. So there's a spiritual side of it that people have to realize. That's why people tear you down. They're not really wanting to tear you down, but the enemy use jealousy to make them tear you down. So Richie, my path with Richie is just let's use the high road. Richie's over in the West End training. We go over there sometimes, and my son been in Europe since 2006 as a professional, and he's training over the East End. As Richie said, the work is just going to grow. The work is going to grow to the point where people have to come beg us for national team players. Because the players that we have right now, man, like Richie smile, he smile when you think about what's coming next. The players that we have are phenomenal, and the training that we're going to give them and that we started with them is next level. Yeah? So it's good versus evil. And good going to win. Gates of hell shall never prevail against the church. God bless you.
Blessings, man. All right, so Sir Edward, listen, and I mean, I know that you have also worked with the Day Sister, and they were a part of the national team, right?
Mannings, man, I want to understand, Mannings, man. Don't just think of the Day Sister alone,
Yeah.
Backled,
yeah,
Carlton came here 2 weeks ago. We had a discussion in Florida, and I'm saying, listen, there's loads of talent in Canada. You guys need to set up a camp here so you can see the talent. Well, the man them laugh at me and say, yo, I can't know over Canada, man.
Yeah.
Well, 2 weeks ago, Barclays see some talent. And after the game, man, like him, I say, yo, no, like we need to set up something here. And I support that 1,000,000% because the truth is, until you're on the ground, you will never truly understand what someone else is saying.
Yeah, you have to see it sometimes.
You have to see it face. Like, when I'm telling you about talent Mannings, man, I'm talking about 9 players represent TFC the other day against Battled Value, and all of them have Jamaican background, eh?
Okay.
And it was like unbelievable football that was on show.
Yeah, what age group though?
U15.
Yeah.
The 09. But it's not just the 09. It's not just the 09, but they have different age groups with the same Jamaican players within the organization as well. But as I said, until they set up shop somewhere so they can see the talent firsthand.
Let this election madness blow off. You understand? The work is always that, it's to connect Jamaicans everywhere. Because I tell people, we are out of many, one people. And we must not just say that, but we must believe that.
Yep.
That the Jamaican in Canada is just as important as the Jamaican in the United States, as the Jamaican in England, as the Jamaican in Jamaica. Yeah. And all of them must be given a fair opportunity if they so desire to represent the national team. They must be given that opportunity. Let it be that others are better than them. But don't use the place that they are from to limit them. I don't want a youth in Jamaica to be limited because he's playing in Jamaica. Give him the same opportunity as the one in the States. But I don't want the one in the States to be limited because he's in the States. Give him the same opportunity as the one in Jamaica. And then the best man play, whomever they are and wherever they are from. And we need to find a way to do that. We continue the work, man. I know that we're trying to do a tournament. We're trying to be a part of a tournament in this month, but it's a very tight window with the age group and thing. And I know, like Freddie, thing is over in Arizona, so it was very tight. But we're trying to get a little tournament, enter a little tournament that we're invited to. But it don't seem like it's going to work. We're going to try and push where we could use just kids who are available from the diaspora to play, some of the kids that we have been working with. So, but the work continues, not going to stop, and you continue to do the work. You understand me? And again, thanks for bringing some clarity to the matter. And please know that the platform is here, man. Anytime you need to do anything like this, you can let us know. Mr. Grooves, blessings to you and the family. And if the person out there, maybe you don't want to use Man platform, but I'm a fair person. If you feel like you have something you need to say, then you can reach out to the platform. The platform is here for you as well. But if you believe you need to say something and you feel like Man was unfair to you and you need to go elsewhere, then go elsewhere and make your case. You understand me? Take the news, whatever medium you think. But if you haven't heard this, you feel like, hey, I need to, I am open to you being here. You understand me? However, if you feel like you need to go elsewhere, that's also fine. But I'm glad that we hear this, because when I came upon it, I was a little bit concerned, and I thank God that we got some clarity today. But again, I want to say a big thank you to Richard Edwards, thanks to Mr. Junior Grooves, and to all the persons who called in today to make this a worthwhile discussion and show. Thanks to the persons in the comment section. To the new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. I encourage you again, as usual, to hit the like button, like and share. We have a group that calls the radio, they call themselves the Elite, and we're going to have a discussion with what we call the Elites later, where a lot of the Elites will be discussing some stuff. It will be very, very interesting. Pioneer is going to be pioneering that one. So it will be a very interesting one. So join us for that later this evening. I am Manningsman. This has been I Am Sure Sports. And as usual, when it gets to the end of our show, we always say we are over and we are OUT out of here.
Yo, watch about dog, SK New Erdis, the body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, you cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocho-Race, Galtigo Bay, everywhere. I Am Sure Sports, check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like, yeah. Someone on for the food from young, from where they knee height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.